Well, the coalition breakup is looking more like a divorce this morning, with Sussan Ley saying she doesn't intend to bring the Liberals and the Nationals back together before the next election. The split between the two parties means the Liberals will have only 28 seats in the lower house, posing an even harder task to win back government in 3 years than they would have had if the Nationals were by their side. For their take, let's bring in journalist Suz Mostyn and broadcaster Justin Smith. Good morning to you. Yeah, conflicting reports this morning on whether they're going to stay apart or stay divorced. Is it a breakup or a divorce, Suz?
Look, I think it's probably, as some people have said, it's a conscious uncoupling, but only on one side. You know, like David Littleproud, how brutal is that? He's saying, Sussan, it's not me, it's you. And you know, politics, of course, is a bare-knuckle game, but honestly, she just was asking for time and space to do a review of policies. How do the Liberals regroup? How do they reconnect with modern, inclusive Australia? She wanted that time to do a review, and what, the Nats say, no, if you don't agree with these 4 policies that are locked in, headed by nuclear, we're out. So if he wanted to damage the Libs, he's done that. He's damaged the Nats. They're essentially 2 minor parties now, but he's also emboldened the Labor Party. It's extraordinary. Bob Hawke once said, disunity is death. And this is what we're seeing. It's a little death. Will they get back together? Who knows? But this is ugly, messy and very damaging.
Yeah, we knew they sort of differed on these big policies, didn't we? But, Justin, the fact that he sprung it on quick yesterday seemed to take everyone by surprise.
Like lightning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I guess anyone, Nat, who had a little bit of doubt in there that this was a real disaster for the Liberal Party only needs to look at this as they couldn't win over a majority of the country or even close to it, but then they couldn't even win over their closest ally. And I guess the National Party were looking at some of the architects of that election, the Michaelia Cashes and the Angus Taylors and other people, and looking and say, look, we just don't want a bar of it. But there is a flip side to this, though. The National Party have been part of this coalition for 80 years. This is their story as well. So they can't lump it all on the Liberal Party and say, hey, these lot buggered it up for us and we're not going to be part of it anymore. They've been part of this plan. Go back and have a look at press conferences and interviews. They've been backing all this stuff in. So although they didn't lose as many seats as the Liberal Party, they're still going to have to wear this themselves. Right. They're still a part of the problem. They're not. They can pretend to look like a part of a new solution, but they were part of the problem.
Well, as David Littleproud said to us on Sunrise the other day, you know, the Labor Party were mean, they were nasty, they outspent us, and they got the sell better. So, you know, that's what they're blaming. So it'll be interesting to see where we go from here.
It's independent George versus relationship George in a Seinfeld term. It's, you know, the two things George divided against itself cannot stand. You know, it's weird.
They're killing independent George.
Yeah.
They're killing independent George.
Very interesting. Get the popcorn, everyone. Moving on, Broncos star Reece Walsh is under fire for a now deleted video he posted on social media showing him punching his friend in the face with a boxing glove. Walsh later said it was just a joke and added it was, quote, boys being boys, unquote. But his NRL club now looking at handing out a fine for the conduct, not seeing it as a joke. Suz, is this the right punishment?
Well, of course, and it should probably go a bit further because, look, honestly, this boys will be boys line, it is exhausting and it's pathetic. You're a man, you've got a very rich contract, you have a responsibility on the field, and whether you like it or not, you are a role model to kids and everyone who's your fan. So for good or ill, you're a role model on behaviour. I hate pranks. I think this is awful. Violence is never acceptable. And it's not accepted on the field, in the game, and yet we think that this is okay, that it's funny for social media and clicks. Apparently, Reece has a YouTube station that's coming out, Reece TV. Does he want to be a professional rugby league player, highly paid, and be a legend, or does he want to sell out and be a Kardashian? You know, in a sport where they're talking about CTE, head knocks, and anti-violence, this is a really terrible look.
And Justin, he's got the boxing glove in his hand. It's just a really strange one, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's stupid. And Reece Walsh said they were best mates. So I hate to see what he does to his enemies. I think, and what. I mean, from everything we know now, and Suz has certainly touched on it with concussion, from everything these guys have been taught, you can, I'm not trying to be silly here, you can kill somebody with a hit like that or cause unbelievable damage. And if a guy like that who's part of an enormous club, doesn't know that. What hope have we got? It's incredibly stupid.
OK. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Here's Shemai.
Thanks,